Hi, welcome to the Resources Roadhouse. I'm Wally Graham. I'm at the Melbourne League of the new World Metals Investment Series, and I had a very interesting chat with Iggy Tan, who's Managing Director of Altech Chemicals. Iggy Tan, welcome to the Resources Roadhouse.
Thank you, Wally. Thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure. Now, okay, there's some really exciting stuff happening with Altech, and it's got to do with your new battery technology. I think that's the best way to describe it. New battery technology, the Serenity battery, is that correct?
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, so it's a new battery. How is it new?
Yeah. So as you know, lithium batteries are very popular batteries, and they are very good batteries, but they have some challenges. So essentially they catch fire and explode, as you've seen in the news. They also have limited lifespan, so about 8 years, and they also operate in a very narrow temperature range, so about 15 degrees to 35 degrees. They don't operate well in the cold. Our batteries actually has double the lifespan, about 15 years, very wide range in operating temperature, right down to minus 20 degrees to about 60 degrees, and totally explosion and fireproof. So these are the big advantages of that. And the other thing that with lithium ion batteries, Wally, is that the critical metals in the batteries are causing some concerns. Lithium, number one, is 6 times increase in prices of lithium, and that's causing some concerns on the production of lithium batteries. Cobalt, there's ethical issues coming from the Republic of the Congo. 70% of world cobalt supply comes from the Congo, and then also graphite. 90% of graphite comes from China, and that is a geopolitical risk. And then finally copper. The amount of copper that is required in EVs, there's a recent report that says there's not enough mines to provide all that copper.
All right, so those 4 commodities that you've just mentioned, how do they fit into the new technology, or do they fit in there at all?
Absolutely. So our batteries are totally fireproof, double the life, as I mentioned. It doesn't have any lithium. It uses salt and nickel metal. So no lithium, no graphite, no cobalt, and no copper. So imagine a battery without those elements. You can imagine how cheap that battery is going to be. So essentially what it is a ceramic tube, that's the solid state. We fill it up with salt and nickel metal powder. And when you charge the battery, the sodium from the sodium chloride forms an anode, a molten sodium on the other side, and then it dissolves when you discharge it. So it's a self-forming anode. And we didn't develop this technology, Wally. The German Battery Institute over the last 8 years developed the technology. They spent 35 million euros in research and development and nearly 25 million in a pilot plant. So they already produced these batteries. What we're doing is to commercialize that.
All right, so I'm just getting my head around this. So they've developed these batteries without these commodities, and it's a new technology.
It's actually been around since the early 80s and 90s. So they're called Zebra batteries. They're small batteries. What the Institute did was upscale it to meet the grid storage market. So this battery is ideal for grid storage. It's very similar energy capacity to lithium iron phosphate batteries, but as I mentioned, the life is double. It operates in a very wide range and so on. So our market will be the grid storage market.
So grid storage market, do you mean solar energy batteries?
Yes, absolutely. Yep. So grid storage is, a good example is South Australia. They put a lot of these batteries in, and actually it's not only sorted out the blackouts in South Australia, it's making a lot of money because it arbitrages the grid. So they charge the batteries when the price is cheap, and then they discharge and make an arbitrage. But for us, Australians, we have a lot of solar panels. Do you have a solar panel at home?
Yep.
You're producing electricity during the day and selling it for 4 cents to the grid. And at night, you're buying it back at 26 cents a kilowatt. So you have these storage, it resolves that problem. So that's essentially house, neighborhood, and the complete grid.
So you say that Altech are in the process of commercialising this.
Yeah.
When do we are they available now, or when do we anticipate
So
the availability?
the first job is to do a bankable feasibility study for a 100 megawatt plant. So 100 megawatts is 10,000 of these battery modules, and to be built in Saxony, Germany. So, and then we'll go to a funding stage, and then after we get this first plant up and running, our vision is to have a gigafactory for these molten salt batteries, essentially. Very exciting technology, game changing. It doesn't take away from lithium ion batteries. It's just a good alternative for the grid energy storage.
Well, after hearing all this, Iggy, I feel energised. So watch out. All right. Well, I suppose we're just going to have to wait for the news to come through about what's going on.
Yep.
You know where to come when you need to get the story out. You know where to come to, so we can tell people. And I expect a phone call when you're ready to tell me.
Thanks, Wally.